All right, you know what time it is? A fantastic Wednesday right here on Click Ninja Internet Radio. Welcome to Love Angles, a program where we look at different dimensions of love and, of course, talk about it. Well, on this program, like you heard, we talk about issues that concerns romantic relationships and how to make them work better. Yes, we are so positive on this program. No room for negativity. All right. My name is Jennifer Ogo on the show, and you are most welcome. Now, the question for today's edition is staring at you right there on your screen, and it is: who fears the lifelong commitment most in the relationship? Is it the men or the women? Who fears the lifelong commitment most in a relationship? Is it the men or the women? Now, when we talk about the lifelong commitment, you know what I'm talking about, popping the question, walking down the aisle, making public vows, and sticking with it. So who do you think has a phobia for it? Is it the men or the women? Gamophobia is the fear of commitment. In case you've not heard that word before, there is a word for having commitment issues called gamophobia, which is derived from the Greek word gamos, which means marriage, and phobos, which means fear. So don't forget to invite your friends as usual to watch and follow us on the program. At Twitter, we're at Click Ninja One, on Facebook and YouTube at Click Ninja, and of course on Instagram. Now, not all people get married and stay married with a sense of a lifelong commitment. Commitment can be a scary word for some people. It could mean loss of independence, feelings of being trapped or controlled, and generally just the fear of intimacy. People who have commitment issues have a serious problem in staying in a relationship, especially for the long term. Yeah. So studies shows that people with commitment phobia or gamophobic people, um, actually have problems staying in a relationship for the long term. And study shows that people with commitment phobia long and want a long-term connection with another person. So this set of people could actually be quite emotional and want all the romantic, mushy love and all the lovey-dovey, everything that comes up in a romantic relationship, but their overwhelming anxiety prevents them from staying in any relationship for too long. So if pressed for a commitment, that is particularly common among the women, get committed. What are we doing? What's our future like? All of those comments, it could actually scare them off. They are more likely to leave the relationship than to make the commitments that you actually anticipate. Or they may initially agree, to get committed, then back down later because of their overwhelming anxiety and fear. So most of the time, people who are gamophobic or gamophobic people who fear commitment, actually it comes with a lot of anxiety, it comes with a lot of fear. Now, the question you might want to ask is, what causes commitment phobia? Remember, the question is right there: who fears commitment the most, or who fears the lifelong commitment the most in a relationship? Because people can actually choose to get committed for different reasons, probably to get money out of a relationship, or to, different kind of benefits you might not know just for the short term. But when we talk about the lifelong commitment, it's for the long term, like you're there to stick forever. Now, what causes commitment phobia? There are endless possible explanations, of which I might mention a few. You might even have more to contribute to the program. There are endless possible explanation for causes of someone who might actually fear commitment. There are a lot of causes. Now, number one is seeking perfection. So some people worry that their partner or spouse may not be perfect or isn't their soulmate. Like, I have a friend who had this ex that kept on asking her, "Are you sure you're real? Are you sure you're the one? Are you sure you're not pretending?" Such questions could come up from that angle of seeking perfection. You just want to know if this person is truly the one. Now, the second cause of gamophobia could be the fear of being controlled or losing freedom. You just want to, keep exhibiting your youthful exuberance, and you just want that freedom of doing anything you want to do. um if you have that kind of fear of either being controlled or losing that freedom that you normally used to have, it could be one cause of gamophobia or fear of commitment. Now, fear of boredom, many people become concerned that their relationship will become stagnant and uninteresting, like the way they would want it to be. Now, limited sexual experiences, this is very common among men. I'm so sorry, right? So many people, when you get to commit to a monogamous relationship, you agree to, let go of your right to have a sexual relationship with anyone but your partner. That is one commitment you have to make, not just for intimacy purposes, even for health purposes. So for some people, it might be a discomforting reality. I can remember one time, Nancy Isime, the popular on-air personality and of course TV host, actually hosted Don Jazzy. Yes, and she asked him a question: why aren't you married? Like, why are you not? Why don't, not even necessarily be married, but why don't we actually see you with a particular person that you are probably in a relationship with or whatever? And he said, okay, I'm deciding to spill the beans right now. I can't stick with one person. Like, I admire guys who actually get married and stick with one partner. I cannot do it. Like, he just said his truth. So for someone like that, having one person in his life as a sexual partner might be quite discomforting. Now, fear of change could be another cause for gamophobia. Often fear of commitment is accompanied with worries that your partner or spouse may change in the future and that your relationship will suffer as a result of as of that result. Now, leaving your committed partner now to actually continue life the way it's supposed to be could be one major obstacle in terms of commitment. So fear of change could be one cause of gamophobia or fear of commitment. Now, contentment, where you feel like you're not satisfied, you want to have it all. Guess what? You can't even have it all. Like, you can't have it all. This is where you definitely get to apply the 80-20 rule. So if you want to actually seek a solution for this problem of lack of contentment, you might want to stick by the 80-20 rule. Now, lastly, is the fear of acceptance or approval. So some people may fear that their family or social circle disapprove of their partner, making them uncomfortable with committing to a relationship until they are confident now that the people in their life will approve of the relationship. I mean, why would you want to even live your life like that, on people's approval or your family's approval? Yeah, there are some families that, of course, they require that. Like, it's very pertinent that their partner must meet these standards. So if they are looking for a partner, they have to look out for some of all these qualities in that partner, so that their parents or their family could make approve of this person. Now we have our first comment on the show. Thank you so much, Sunny Asmal. And she's saying, I think it's an individual thing. It has nothing to do with gender. Really, you think so? Okay, thank you so much, Asmal. Let us know what you think on the program. Who do you think fear the lifelong commitment most in a relationship? Is it the man or the woman? I actually want to see some gender wars going on here. This is 21st century. A lot has changed, in the society. So everybody now can speak up and just say their minds, on whatever they think about a relationship. In fact, concerning this issue. So let us know what you think about this question. Who you think fear commitment most in a relationship? Of course, I've highlighted some causes of gamophobia or the fear of commitment. Now let me take some social media reactions I gathered online. Apart from the ones I'm anticipating to see from you, right? So the first one is from Antive, and she's saying neither. So all women only have one thing in common, being women, and all men only have one thing in common, they are men. So I'm guessing she's going with Asma's comment. David Evans says men versus women questions are often so unanswerable because it's impossible to classify by gender. So on the other hand, had you asked this question 60 or 70 years ago, it would have been valid. Really? Okay. Men were less likely to commit to a relationship than women who had been taught from childhood that their role in life was to be a wife, a mother, a housekeeper. So things have changed, and women have lifestyles that suit them better than the old stereotype. With that in mind, I'm going to fall back on that much hated answer and say it depends. And let's face it, the divorce rate is so high these days that commitment is no longer for life. Either party can walk away at any time. Is that what you think, David? Well, our last comment on the program today is coming in from Amaka. Remember, these comments were gathered online, like asking random questions online and getting feedbacks from people. Amaka Madu says, if you look at stereotypes, you might say women. The stereotype is that women are seeking love and marriage and babies, and men just want to stick it in as many people as possible. Okay, that's sometimes true, but as gender norms become less rigid, it becomes less and less this way. So women are more likely these days to want to get laid. They are less likely to settle for someone. I mean, settle down and have kids. They are encouraged to have priorities beyond motherhood. Men are becoming more comfortable expressing their emotions and are sometimes willing to admit that a committed family life would make them happy. So they realize the number of women they score doesn't make them more manly. The birth and marriage rates are dropping globally, especially in developed countries. Is that what you think, Amaka? Okay, let us know. Who do you think fear or who fears the lifelong commitment the most in a relationship? Is it the men or the women on the program? And let me just give you some reasons why men and women fear commitment in a relationship. I'm going to start from the women first. So, unresolved issues. Sometimes women are comfortable with the level of their relationship and want nothing more because they are at the phase of building themselves, moving on from unhealed pains from the past, and generally coming to terms with stuff in their life. So you want to make yourself better. Probably you got out of, as a woman now, you got out of a very toxic relationship and you just want to rediscover yourself and not necessarily rush into anything. So it's very likely that you hear phrases like, I'm not ready, I'm not ready, why are you in a relationship, I'm not ready, or stuff like that. Secondly is uncertainty. So when a man proposes moving to the next phase of the relationship and the lady refuses, the reason could be because she still has reservations, fears, worries, uncertainties, and this is a very important, point. We like call it a red flag now, but it's very important to not look over this uncertainty. Like if you are not sure that he is the one, it's better for you to just stick to where you are at that relationship and not necessarily moving ahead because you might just hit rock bottom. So secondly, hoping for someone better. This is very common when you feel like, okay, Emeka is not enough, Sule is not enough, Adamu is not enough. You just want someone better. You keep anticipating that you meet the one. Guess what? There is no perfect person. I keep telling you, maybe you need to apply the 80-20 rule because you can't get the qualities that you want in a partner 100%. You might just have to budge at some point and probably compromise and look at the priorities, know what you truly want. You can list 10 of them, and if the person scores 8 out of 10, that's good enough and it's a go from me. Exes now, this is very common now. Some chicks use a certain boyfriend as a standard for all other proposed boyfriends or relationships, no matter how long it takes and how many relationships they enter, they still remain tied to that former ex and keep hoping that he comes back. Oh my god, you are going nowhere with that kind of attitude or mentality because it's not one way to move forward at all. Lastly is when she really wants to play around, she just wants to use it to catch cruise. Either she's eating your money or just having fun with you generally. It's one reason why a woman might not necessarily commit or might just have phobia for commitment. On the other hand, men might be afraid of commitment because he had a controlling partner and a traumatic relationship in the past. A bad relationship can form his image of the ideal woman because of traumas he experienced in his previous relationship. Another reason why men might fear commitment is because they might have emotions and problems that they haven't dealt with yet. So the solution might just be to probably recommend them to a therapist and help them basically. If he does not have a solid foundation, yes, if he doesn't have a solid foundation, this is a very common excuse, like employment, lack of income, and alcohol and drug abuse. So if you have a guy putting it out to you that, okay, I don't want to move further from this phase of this relationship, I don't want to go ahead to either pop the question or really stay committed, is because I have this addiction I really want to stop or I want to work on, and it's for your own good, you should definitely respect his choice. If as a woman you are really pushy, like you just want it to move so fast, you met someone today, you want to go out with the person the next day, the following week you want the person to meet your parents, I mean, calm down. Like seriously, if you're moving too fast as a partner, he might just be thinking like, okay, does she want something more? Is there something that she's hiding? The mental disorder, please, if you are not mentally stable, don't get, it's not like, you need to take care of yourself mentally. You need to take care of yourself mentally and you know make your partner feel safe with you. Yes, as much as you have physical needs in a relationship, as much you have emotional needs mentally too, you need to be there for your partner. It's very, very important. I have another comment from Eventus E Cardinal. Thank you so much. I'm not trying to make it a gender issue, but I think it's there. And he's a guy and he's just letting you know what he thinks. Thank you so much, Eventus. Simon Matthias, thank you so much for joining us. It's individual, even though that is the individual, even though lots of times guys we don't want to commit, mostly because of the stage of hustle. We all want to be super sure. Really, Simon, I'm really curious. Like, guys, I don't want to make any conclusion. I don't want to draw the conclusion and conclude that, okay, it's men that are most likely not to commit. But I really want to know why, from your perspective, Asma has made a comment as a woman. Why do you think a lady might choose not to commit? Simon Matthias and Eventus, why do you think a man might choose not to commit? Simon have made a valid point, which I mentioned earlier. It could be financially, money related. Maybe he has no income or he doesn't have, any form of employment. That could be a reason for not committing. But is that enough? Is that enough? From my suggestion, I think if in a relationship, you should look at the future. If you truly want to be with this person, I don't think money is enough reason not to commit, because at the end of the day, you would need more money. The money that you want might not even be enough for you at that point in time. So if you have an understanding partner and a partner who is willing to probably draw a financial plan and work out a business plan together and solve that issue, whatever the issue or whatever the cause might be for not communicating in a relationship, I strongly believe that it is workable. Like, you just have to communicate. You just have to communicate basically and let each other know that you are in this, no matter the circumstance. All right, our time has been quite spent. I think I just spent a lot of time talking about this issue because it's very important, because you might be asking yourself some questions. Why is it that this person does not want to commit? Am I alone in this relationship? You should really draw the threads and know where you are at. Thank you so much for all those who made their comments on the program. I sincerely appreciate. Do us well by sharing the video and inviting your friends to make more comments. All right, there's nothing worse than a relationship that failed simply because one person didn't try hard enough to fix it. Like I said, make sure that you communicate and work together to make the relationship great. That's the essence of this program. We just want to make relationships better. You have questions, you're free to ask. I might not necessarily be the love doctor, but I might just give you one or two suggestions and advice that might just help you in your relationship. Before wrapping up the program, Simon sent another comment. He's saying, for guys, lots of time it's a stage you are, not entirely money. Okay, it could be the level of your vision. Maybe I needed to complete a phase first, which is, understandable, which is good. Thank you so much, Simon, for giving us more clarification on why men might actually choose not to commit. Thank you so much. Simon is always a committed viewer, and we do not take you for granted. Thank you so much, Eventers and Asma Ostani. So, moving on, the most popular and more acceptable way to overcome commitment issues is to pop the question. People get married when I actually see it in Hollywood movies. I don't want to bring that into this issue because those are movies. But if you truly want to be with someone for the rest of your life, I just feel you both should work together. Commitment shouldn't be something you should be afraid of because you do not know what tomorrow holds for you. You don't know if it might be better or worse. But if you are sure that this person is the one, like in your heart, you know that this person is the one, just go for it. Make your vows publicly and go for it. Money will come. All right. So much appreciation to you once again for being us here live on Facebook. Love Angles will be back next week for another edition right here on Click Niger Internet Radio. Remember, our website is at www.clickniger.net. We have your favorite hits from the 90s and, of course, contemporary songs to really make your day a-okay. So if you missed all of our previous shows, you can watch us live on YouTube. Is at Click Niger as well. Remember, COVID-19 is still out there. The vaccine might not have gotten to your doorpost, but just keep staying safe. All right, wear your mask, wash your hands as often as you can, and maintain physical distancing. Until next week, have a fabulous time out. My name is still Jennifer Ogo. Bye bye.